Hi, and welcome into the Robbie Coker Show. I'm Logan Wright, and with me is head basketball coach Robbie Coker. Glad to have you today, Coach.
Thanks, man. Good to be here.
I guess this is the time you look forward to all year. This is when it really matters. We talk about, all through basketball season, all this part really don't matter. We're all, playing for the area and then playing, who gets to go to the show. So we'll go ahead and jump right in, area tournament time. Just go ahead and break down your game against Northside Mountain. Who showed up and played well for you?
Sure, I thought we came out with a lot of energy. I thought our defensive pressure was really good. I felt like our guys were locked in. Northside Mountain tried to stall the ball a little bit and run some clock, and our guys did a good job of not gambling, of sitting down and really guarding the bounce, staying true to our principles. I don't think we gave up a field goal in the first quarter, and got some easy shots in transition. I felt like just a very good team win. Everybody, I think, scored on the entire team. Maybe Chance Brulls didn't. I know he took a couple shots, but just a overall good team win. Everybody played well. Everybody contributed to the cause and just did a great job of sharing the basketball and playing the way we want to play.
I know that traditionally, when it gets area tournament time, some guys from the B team move up, the mic can contribute a little bit. Do you care to tell us who they are?
Sure. We moved up 5 B team guys. We moved up juniors Levi Lusk and Devin Foshee, sophomores Jackson Hush and Hayden Gingy White, and then Tristan Littleham's a freshman point guard. All 5 of those guys got in the game. I think they played the last 6 minutes of the game, and all 5 of those guys recorded a basket. Did a great job. They weren't very nervous. They moved the ball. They defended well, took great shots, got a couple offensive rebounds. Our B team had a very good year. Coach Williams does a great job with those guys, and they won 25 games, which is, maybe a county record. We've talked about it. I know it was never done at Crossville. I think Geraldine's won 25 before. It's hard to play 25 B team games for one, but just did a great job all year for us, and it was great for them to be rewarded and get some playing time in a varsity game, and I thought they didn't disappoint. They were excited. The crowd was excited. Our other guys were excited for them. They do a good job for us every week in preparation for the other team. It was good for those guys to get in the game and get some game experience.
Now you said that they weren't nervous. Well, at the start of the fourth quarter, it was 50-16, so it's a little bit easier to play with a lead like that. But everybody talks about how talented Plainview's varsity is, but I think good things are still in store when you look at the B team. You have so much talent on that B team. I've watched some of those B team players do things a lot of times you don't even see varsity players do. Shooting in threes. I think of Foshee hitting that buzzer beater. I know he was excited about that, but I know it's also great to get these guys some game experience. I know that'll help next year as well.
Sure. We feel like our we want to have a sustained program. We don't want to have just a good group. We take pride in our skill development. We take pride in our all-season work, and I think that if you look at our program, really starting, you can go back in the 3rd grade, but really 6th grade up. We've got guys coming that can be good basketball players that put the time in and do what we ask of them. Obviously, it's a sacrifice, it's a commitment to being a good basketball player. But we've got guys in the program that are paid the price, that are having success at all levels, and we hope this thing continues to grow and the guys keep getting better. And we talk about there's not a level of program, there's only a level of players, yes. And as long as our guys keep getting better, keep working and putting the time in, we're going to play as many guys as we can.
Definitely. I know very excited to see some of these younger players move up and make an impact next year as well. But you guys defeat Northside Mountain 66-27, win that first round of the tournament. Then you guys advance to play Pisgah in the championship game. So just tell us about that game real quick.
Pisgah did a good job. Obviously, they kind of slowed the game down a little bit as well. It's kind of ironic. The last 3 Jackson County teams we played, North Jackson, Pisgah, and North Saint have slowed the ball down. Very unorthodox for those 3 places. But it's a tribute to our guys, and they feel like that. They have to slow the game down for our guys, to have a chance to win. I thought Pisgah did a great job of making us a little antsy. We kind of jumped around a little bit. We kind of allowed them to beat us off the bounce a little bit. Didn't get the help side, and I thought because they were holding the ball and making us defend, offensively we kind of got a little rushed a couple times down the floor. Did a good job guarding us. It was a tough physical game, a lot of contact, a lot of free throw shot. I think they shot 20 free throws. We shot 17. A very dirty game, maybe. I don't know if dirty is the right word, but it wasn't a lot of flow to the game. You know what I'm saying? It was a choppy and sloppy a little bit.
I feel like the game was stopped every time somebody went down the court. There was a whistle.
Yeah, it was a physical game, and it was like I said, just kind of a choppy game. We didn't get a lot of flow. Pisgah did a good job of kind of eliminating our transition, making us run some stuff, and just had to grind it out. We didn't shoot it particularly well. I think we gave up 35% from the game from the field, so obviously we guarded pretty well. But just one of those games that you got to get through, and figure out a way to win the game. We challenge the guys at halftime. At the end of the day, we're here to win an area championship. We'd like to be pretty, we'd like to put on a show, but it's about going 1-0 today. And I thought our guys did a good job of realizing what kind of game we were in, and just figured out a way to win the game. And that's all that matters this time of year.
I know you mentioned all these teams slowing the ball down against you, and really it's kind of a compliment. Because I know, like, my senior year, we didn't have a lot of scoring ability, so that was our game plan. We were going to slow the ball down.
Sure.
And, it makes the game totally different. Like you said, it makes teams a little antsy, especially, I'm going to say, offensive productive teams like Plainview that have a very good offense. So I think that's kind of a compliment as far as,
Sure,
playing.
We like to shoot the ball 70, 80 times a game, and all of a sudden we're shooting it 45 and 50 times a game. It gets guys out of rhythm, and just kind of, it's just different. It's not how we're used to playing. I thought our guys adjusted well, but it certainly caused us to sputter a little bit, and postseason basketball, at the end of the day, you better be able to guard in the half court, and you better be able to score in the half court. You won't take games and play games at this point going forward where there's going to be some half court situations. You can win in the half court, you can score in the half court. You won't struggle with that. So it's probably good for us going forward. Get the opportunity to maybe some of those situations and not having to go against ourselves. And hopefully we'll learn some lessons from it.
Now it's a state tournament time, and it's really survive and advance. You don't have a chance to have an off day, and we talk about this, all throughout the season, the show, and all throughout basketball season. Like right now is when you want to be playing your best basketball as a team. Do you think Plainview is playing their best basketball right now?
Certainly hope so. I feel like the guys have been engaged. I think we've gotten over a little rub we had. We're more focused now. These guys are playing a lot of big games, and they know what postseason basketball is all about. 5-game tournament. After even after the 16 teams up these classifications. So at that time of year, you got to be mentally and physically strong and tough, and you got to be able to execute in the half court, and you got to be able to get stops and rebounds. It's a simple game. It really is. It's just players making plays and just 32 minutes of focus and effort and toughness, and we hope we're ready for it.
I've seen you writing down the bracket, for who's still in it right now. Do you care to go through that real quick?
Sure. Obviously we host Girl Team 7 o'clock on Tuesday night, and then Pisgah goes to New Hope as well. Then on the other side, Glencoe goes to Weaver, and Walter Wellborn goes to Piedmont. So that's the 8 teams playing for the 4 slots at JSU in our Northeast region.
Okay. And are you guys excited for the rematch against Geraldine? I know I am.
I'm excited about the rematch with Geraldine. I hope you should be excited to play this time of year. Yeah. Who you're playing. Obviously, you probably like a less quality opponent. We'd like to play the Sisters of the Poor, maybe.
Yeah.
But the reality is, like I said, there's going to be 16 teams left after Tuesday night. There's no more cupcakes. It should be hard to go to Jackson State. It's an honor to go down there and play in the regional tournament. You should have to earn the right to do that. We've been very fortunate to get down there the last couple of years, and we've never had an easy game.
Yeah.
It's been great competition to get down there, and then it's been great competition when we got down there. So it's postseason basketball, man. I hope we're excited about the opportunity to play in a game of this relevance and a game that a lot of people care about the outcome. We're very, very fortunate and blessed to be in a situation to have this kind of opportunity.
Yes.
Basketball's important around here. It's two quality schools, good kids, hard working, everything high school athletics supposed to be about. And you keep that thing up, you go play until it happens. So I hope we're excited about the opportunity just to be able to compete and enjoy the fruits of our labor.
Definitely, and I know I expect a great game. Just watching both these teams play, at times their styles are so different, but Geraldine kind of resembles Plainview in a way that they have so many ways they can score. They're not just stuck to one offense or stuck to having to stick to the press or whatever. So I think that really adds to the game, and plus you guys play in the county championship. So I know a lot of people are going to be looking forward to this rematch. Like you said, it might be better if Plainview was playing a lesser quality opponent, but that makes it mean something, to have to beat them. And my next question is kind of a stupid question, but do you guys expect a packed Civic Center?
That's on the people of Geraldine and Plainview. That's nothing we can get caught up in worrying about. Surely everybody knows the game starts at 7 o'clock on Tuesday night. I expect, obviously, a good crowd, but if everybody got to control, we can control. Let's work on our free throws and layups, and all that'll take care of itself.
Free throws and layups, I know I heard that like 100 times. It's my senior year, but what I meant by packed Civic Center, I went to the Collinsville-Westbrook game the other day, and I don't think you could have fit another 3 people in that gym with a crowbar. I mean, there was people lined up all the way against the walls, and then people sitting on the floor. That Civic Center, it's a lot harder to pack out.
Sure, the good thing about the Civic Center is this. You know that you can show up 5 minutes before game time. You're going to have a parking slot and a seat.
Yes.
There's going to be clean restrooms. There's going to be a good concession stand. It's a basketball venue. Obviously, it holds so many people that sometimes it feels like we play in a ghost town.
Mm-hmm.
But I think our crowds have been good. Last year we had a great crowd for that sub-region game with us in Geraldine. What is there to do on Sandrock Mountain Tuesday night at 7 o'clock?
Exactly.
So hopefully, I think it's the only game on the mountain, right? Section goes on the road, Pizzy goes on the road. So hopefully we'll have a good crowd and a great basketball game.
Like you mentioned, basketball is very important around here. I know when I went to the Collinsville game, I was seeing people from Pisgah and Otter, and I seen half the starting lineup for Asbury that you guys played. So like you said, people flock to this, and I think a lot of times, I don't want to say we take the Civic Center for granted, but it is. It's such a nice venue. I know when I moved to Jacksonville, people were like, "Oh, have you been up to the Coliseum yet? Up here, it's huge." I was like, "That's about the size of our gym back home." And people, they don't really understand that. But I don't want to say that we take it for granted, but it's definitely one of the nicer venues around.
Sure, it's a great venue. Obviously, everybody enjoys playing in it. We've talked about it all year. The semi-tournament, the Camp County tournament has a special feel.
Yes.
The Civic Center helps out in that environment and that situation, but. The goals are 10 feet tall. The ball's going to be 29.5 inches.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be 3 guys walking around in stripes that nobody's going to enjoy. It's just going to be a high school basketball game. We can get caught up in all that other stuff we want, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to who can execute, who can finish at the rim, who can make shots, and who can get stops and rebounds. It's just going to be a high school basketball game that we're fortunate to have the opportunity to play in.
And how many times have you guys played Geraldine this year?
Be the 3rd time, just like last year, Kel and I are good friends. That's, people all the time. That's why we don't play regular season.
Yeah.
So anytime we do play, it's usually a big game. There's always something on the line when we play.
Do you think that adds to the anticipation that you guys don't play in the regular season?
I don't know if it does or not. Kel's been really good to me. Obviously, not only like a big brother and a hero growing up, but in this profession, he's probably done more for me than anybody. Mm-hmm. A guy I like to bounce off ideas off of. A guy that last year, was helping us prepare for the region tournament, and a guy that 2 years before I was helping him prepare. It's just, it's a unique situation in that aspect. But I don't know if there's any more anticipation or not. It wouldn't matter who we were playing. We would all be excited about being in the sub-region game. We're not any more fired up or any more nervous than we were going to Sandrock 2 years ago. It's this time of year, man. It's a survive and advance mentality. It's hope you're playing your best basketball at the right time. Making sure the guys are rested and loose, and when that thing tips off, go make a play, go win a game.
It's funny, you mentioned Sandrock. a few years back. I was at that game, and Cody hits that buzzer beater. Dylan Clark has the ball, and everybody's like, Dylan, pass the ball to Cody. You never think he's going to. And then right before the buzzer, he throws it to Cody, and Cody hits that little chip shot. But, that was another packed house. And oddly enough, my girlfriend was in high school at Sandrock at that time, and I was over there sitting on Plainview side, and she was so mad that Plainview won the boys and the girls game, she wouldn't even talk to me after the game. But
it was a great environment over there that night because it was one of the opportunities where we were playing the same team, and so we played the boys and the girls on the same night. It was a very unique experience. The girls' game was a wild, crazy game, hard-fought game, and then the boys' game, obviously came down to the buzzer. That's postseason basketball. You got to play for 32 minutes. You got to make plays, and then you got to get a stop and a rebound.
I know it's too early to talk about Jacksonville, but you talked about how great an honor it is to even be playing at Jacksonville, and really, it's such a great time just to watch basketball because there's no bad team, in that tournament. You're not going to be disappointed no matter what game you watch down there.
Sure, and that's another thing we take for granted in this neck of the woods is how special our regional tournament is. If you go around the state, sometimes when you get to scouting or you're scouting for other guys, if you're sitting in the listeners' corner over there and then need to go watch another game in case they go into Birmingham, you realize that not every regional tournament is packed out and as attended as ours at Jacksonville, and then now Jack State, but because they upgraded the inside of the Coliseum, they lost about 1,500 seats, so now it's even a smaller environment. It's very, very tight. It's loud. It's just a great atmosphere for basketball. No question.
I love basketball games like we mentioned Sandrock a few years ago and Collinsville, where it's packed like that. But at the same time, I don't know if it's better to be packed like that, like we mentioned, or if you would rather have it sort of like the Civic Center, a little more spaced out. But even with the Civic Center, you look at the county tournament and stuff like that, and the Civic Center's packed out. There's barely any room in the blue seats. Well, I say blue seats because they used to just be blue seats up top, and now there's blue seats everywhere. But I think it really shows how important basketball is, to where if your team gets knocked out, a lot of people come back the next day even if their team's not in it.
Sure, no question. High school sports are important in this part of the country, and it's just a great opportunity. It's good for our kids because they put so much time and effort in it, and it's always good to be able to play in front of a full gym.
Definitely. And does Plainview have any injuries right now? I know we keep talking about Clay Cooper, but I think he's pretty much back.
Yeah, we're banged and bruised up like everybody else is this time of year. We played 30 games. But no, man, we're good to go. Took a day off on Saturday, get a little rest, and should be full speed on Tuesday night.
And I know a lot of people don't really know, but when you guys go to Jacksonville, do you guys usually take a bus, or would you guys?
I know
it's not time yet, but
sure, we take a bus. Trying to think, 2 years ago it was wild. We had the snow. We had to go down the night before and spend the night. Because school was canceled, it was we were having to deal with Mr. Taylor, the superintendent. You probably need to go there. It was we didn't make a reminder for that Sunday. I think we played on a Monday. We left that Sunday about 5 o'clock. It was a unique situation. Hopefully we don't have to worry about those issues this year. But yeah, we didn't start any of that kind of planning and whatnot. Prep work. Obviously, you've got time to worry about that. The way it used to be a little different. It used to play. The sub-region game used to always be on the weekend, but when they went to 7A, they kind of changed. Took a week away, and the sub-region now is the beginning of the week because the region tournament now starts on that Thursday. So the way the brackets fall and all that, we'll play the sub-region game on Tuesday, and we won't. Whoever wins, we won't play again until Monday. So you've got some time there this time to kind of get your plan and scout and go about getting ready for that game. So a week in basketball is an eternity, to get prepared. So
especially when you guys usually play 2 to 3 games a week.
Exactly. So it's one of those things where there's no reason to be planning yet.
Yeah.
We've got a ton of time to be worried about the future later.
Definitely. And we keep talking about how important this time of year is because you can't afford to lose a game. Do you guys do anything differently? Like do the kids watch a movie, or do you feed the kids, try to calm them down, or?
Nah, man, we just play. Man, we show up. We try to teach take every game as the most important game of your life. I think anytime you start putting this game's more important than that game, you start getting highs and lows. We try to attack every game as the most important game of our life. We're very routine based. We're going to do shoot run the same. We're going to do practice the same. We just try to keep everything the same and get ready and play, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that we're talking about 10, 15 boys.
Yeah.
Ages 15,
Yeah.
18. I mean, it's a basketball game.
Definitely.
We're not going off the war or anything. We're just playing a basketball game.
Do you think it helps? I don't want to say that I don't call them seasoned, but experienced, I guess, would be. These kids know what it's like to play in a big game. Not just because you go back and look at y'all's strength of schedule, which was outrageous, and even to look at y'all's record, to look at the strength of schedule, I think that's something in itself. But do you think it helps knowing that these kids have been in this type of game before to make it to Jacksonville before?
I mean, you hope that your past experience, just like as a man, as you get older, you hope you learn from your past experience. Same way as a basketball team. Obviously we hope that because of our prior experience, even going back to last season and these seniors, even a couple of years ago, obviously we hope we learned some lessons. We've learned, how to play in certain type of games, certain situations. The ball, one of those nights you make 15 threes, one of those nights you make 5 threes. One of those nights they're calling it close, one of those nights they're letting you, bang around. You just hope that all of that, leads up and you guys are ready to play. We feel like we've seen every possible scenario. I'm sure Jolene feels the same way. We've all played 30 games. I mean, you look at their they've got 11 seniors, and the Murphy and Gilbert kids probably played 100 varsity basketball games. I mean, I just think you got to stay focused on the time, the task at hand, and just treat it like any other basketball game.
It's funny, we mentioned nerves and stuff, but that's something I don't really think has been a factor with Plainview this year. You look at people like Clay Cooper or Kobe Tinker, and it really nothing seems to knock them off track, or even Jeffrey, when a couple times this season when the momentum switches, he comes right back down and puts up a score for Plainview.
Yeah, I mean, we're battle tested. There's no doubt about it. These kids have played in a lot of big games. They've been up 20, they've been down 20. They've had a game called tight. They've had a game called loose.
Mm-hmm.
They played against a guy that's a good shooter. They played against a guy that's a good athlete. I mean, they've seen it all. And we hope you just sink to your training and play the game. And, don't think about it. We get caught up sometimes thinking about the mechanical part of the game. That's about competing. Go out there and run on the line.
Definitely. Now, do you expect the seniors to play a big role this next week?
I mean,
I know Plainview, you never really know the lineup. It all depends on what happens that night a lot of times.
Luke Graham's going to show me Luke Graham. I think, obviously we're struggling with time. There's a lot of trying to fill.
Exactly.
It's about one game.
I mean, we covered that Piston game. Bang, bang, bang.
I think it's just one of the things when you show up and play.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up in all that other stuff.
Definitely.
We've been on the time the last few years.
No, we wish Plainview the best of luck heading into Jacksonville, and not to Jacksonville, excuse me, playing Geraldine. I know you guys have played a few times. You know each other, but we wish you guys all the best of luck, and we thank you guys for watching and tuning in. Hopefully, we'll be here next week. I hope so anyway. But thank you guys for your time.